Welcome back to Athens. You are watching our special live coverage of the Greek debt crisis. I'm Olivia Stearns. I'm here now with Christos Dήμας. He is a member of the New Democracy Party, an opposition party here in Athens. Christos, thank you so much for joining us early this morning. So right now, Alexis Tsipras is being asked by creditors in Brussels to approve a whole new package of austerity measures that are more harsh than what the country rejected in a referendum. How likely is it that he is going to actually get this passed by Parliament in the next 72 hours?
As you correctly said, this is a very long night for Greece in Brussels and for the Prime Minister. I think it's going to be a very difficult week in the Parliament as well. However, I'm rather optimistic that he will be able to pass the measures from the Parliament. Don't forget that despite the huge differences that the opposition parties have with the Prime Minister, they are currently backing him with all of their powers. That means that parties like Nea Demokratia, PASOK, Topotami, which are in the opposition, are supporting the negotiation process, and they all want Greece to remain in the Eurozone. So there might be some leaks from his parliamentary group in the week to come, but it's quite certain that the measures will pass from the Parliament.
Indeed, it does look like Tsipras is going to have the most trouble with his own party. Sarit said people are talking about a revolt. Is a government reshuffle, is a reshuffle of the cabinet now inevitable?
I think that he will have to go as soon as possible for a reshuffle in the cabinet. However, I would prefer to leave the discussion there, as we are in the middle of the negotiation in Brussels, and we want to see what the agreement will be, and then the national politics is something that we can see from tomorrow.
Even if it's a little bit of a ways out, some people in Athens are talking to me about how Alexis Tsipras might need to call for snap elections. If there were to be a new national unity government, would New Democracy support him?
New Democracy is a political party that actually brought Greece inside the European Union. So we will do anything possible in order to remain within the Eurozone. We have proved that in the past, and it's something that we will do in the future as well.
The urgent issue on the mind of every Greek person I have spoken to, of course, is the banks. They are now entering the third week of capital controls. The banks are still closed. Ordinary Greek people can only pull out a maximum of 60 euros per day from the ATM, if they can find an ATM that still has money. When are the banks going to reopen?
Closed banks are a disaster for the economy. I'm not the right person to ask when the banks will reopen. However, if we have an agreement, the banks will open much quicker than if we don't have an agreement.
Are parliamentarians under the same measures? Are you living off 60 euros a day now?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Everybody in Greece doesn't have a choice than being able to get more than 60 euros.
One of the things you're also hearing coming out of the talks in Brussels is that the package needed now needs to be tougher because of the damage that has been incurred in Greece in the past couple weeks under capital controls. What is your assessment of how badly the economy has deteriorated over the past 2 weeks?
I think it's something that we can easily see in the indices, that the economy in the last 5 months has not been doing that well.
In the stock market?
Not only in the stock market, even in growth rates, in employment, things like that. But I would prefer to leave the criticism at the moment. It's much more important that we pass a message of political consensus in Greece right now. All of the political parties are backing the Prime Minister, and we will have much time for criticism in the near future.
One of the sticking points of the austerity package, the reform measures, is talk of this 50 billion euro fund that would be based in Luxembourg to help facilitate privatization. Is that palatable?
I think it's out of question for any political party, and as I said, we are backing the Prime Minister in the negotiations, so we understand that he rejected it, and he did well rejecting it. I would like to state, though, that the EU on its own must pass a message that it's not trying to take revenge of Greece for the policies in the last 5 months. So it shouldn't try to give the impression that it's punishing Greece, but it should try to see how it can help Greece get out of the crisis and therefore prove true European Union which wants all of its members to flourish and do better.
At this point, how likely is a Greek exit from the Eurozone?
I think it's very unlikely and it won't happen.
Are there any preparations? Is there a plan B in place?
There is no plan B because Greece will remain in the Eurozone, and that's why 250...
Isn't that reckless?
No, it's not, because we are making, even if it's on the last time, it's in the last week where we have the shift of the government policy, but we are making all of our preparations in order to remain in the Eurozone. That's why I hope there will be an agreement in the end of the night.
All right, Christos Dήμας, a member of New Democracy, an opposition party here in Athens. Thank you so much for joining us early this morning.